So you have this idea, and everywhere you look in the culture, it's reinforcing this idea. And this idea is someone can make me happy. And then you go out, and in your great experiment to find that someone, you go online, offline, down the street, in the club, in the church, see your granny's grandson or whatever, look everywhere and under every nook and cranny, and then you say, can you make me happy? So two people find each other, and one says, I have this idea that somebody can make me happy. And the other person says, I also have this idea someone can make me happy. We both have the same idea. That sounds pretty good. So all you have to have is share a mutual idea. Right? Mm-hmm. And then you think something's happening. You think, now I'm going to have this idea realized. Someone is going to make me happy. This person believes that someone is going to make them happy. We're together in the same room, so it's up to that person to make me happy now. Yeah. That's the agreement you make. And the person says, you're in the room and you have the same belief as me, so it's up to you to make me happy. And then each one starts waiting. Yeah. Like, okay, come on, I'll give you a few clues. I like pasta. I want to have a child. I like fancy cars. I like hiking. I like basketball. Okay. Then you leave. But in between sharing the same belief, you make the assumption that the other one's responsible to make that belief actualized. Because the belief is
that's they're going to do it.
Yeah, that someone is here to make me happy.
This is where
there's nothing more dangerous than a belief that is adhered to. Because beliefs are just like any tools in the physical. They are either intelligent and you can use in the moment. But there's never a time when that belief that someone is here to make you happy is going to be very useful. Almost never. Now, what if you had a contest and you said, I'm having trouble with this belief that someone is here to make me happy. I will give $1 million to anybody who will spend a week with me and make me happy every moment. And if at the end of the week I agree that you are here to make me happy, at least for that week, you get the $1 million. So what's going to happen? And then you're thinking, well, I am having an amusing time. This does seem to be going well. But by the second day, maybe if you're really hip, or maybe by the seventh day, you begin to think they're just doing it for the money.
Yeah.
The different beliefs that people have, and they function, and they're function with, and they're very loyal to, they don't actually really work out. None of them actually really work out. And you could come up with some more beliefs and go over them and say, well, if you're really honest, that doesn't work out either. Mm-hmm. And yet, everyone's living a life with these beliefs. Someone's here to love me, make me happy, more is better, you can get away with stuff, you know. They're going around and living miserable lives, acting like those beliefs are actually really good. No one will point a finger and say, this belief is ridiculous. Yeah. It doesn't work. And yet our whole culture is advertising and being loyal to it. So if 10 billion people believe in a belief, does that make that belief actually true? No. Is one person believes that belief is not good, does it make it, can they be right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So each person has to go down the road of their own experience and test out the beliefs that they were given by the culture, or just given in general, just absorbed. You don't even know what they are, you know. until you actually talk about it, until you actually communicate about it. About coming into the room and be without a belief, it's a complete openness and vulnerability that people don't want to have. So you wear your belief like it's your clothes, a status. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty cool. I have this belief. And you wear it on you so other people read it. We all agree that someone is here to make us happy.
Yeah.
We all agree more is better. Right? And you wear that.
Yeah.
But when you get home, you kind of sit in your house and you're kind of depressed.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of sad. You're kind of mad. You're kind of angry. You're kind of annoyed. You're kind of frustrated. So if your beliefs are really producing that happiness, you wouldn't be sitting around when you're not out convincing, yourself by other people convincing themselves, and you're all in the same room trying to convince each other. You wouldn't be feeling any of those emotions. Adhering to a belief is a world of suffering. Don't adhere to a belief. You think being open and vulnerable without beliefs is a dangerous situation. No. The dangerous situation is adhering to a belief. Being adamant about a belief that isn't working.
Yeah.
It isn't true.
Yeah.
That isn't helpful. That isn't good. That is the problem. Well, the villain of the world is these bad beliefs. And to be without a belief is actually the real connection and vulnerability everyone wants and needs. But to be without belief that there's someone there to make you happy, not to come in the room with that belief, then you would actually relate to people naturally, in a natural way.
Mm-hmm.
If I see you and I say, well, he's not here to make me happy. That's not his job in life, or that's not my belief. I just say hi.
Mm-hmm.
And you either smile back or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a natural event. Nothing else has to happen, or something else will happen.
Yeah.
But it's all spontaneous and natural and authentic and relatable. But if you come into the room and say, who's here in this room that's supposed to make me happy? When will I find that person? Oh boy. Then nobody ever suspects the belief is wrong. Everybody thinks that somehow they're not doing it right, or the other person's not doing it right.
Yeah.
Any belief has its limits and failures, and that's what you have to recognize about believing in something. So, Christmas comes around, everybody lies to their kids about Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
Then at a certain point you have to stop lying to your kid about it because he's going to call you on it because he doesn't believe about it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to say, oh, is he stopping believing in Santa Claus now?
Mm-hmm.
Because now if I keep insisting, I'm going to look like a big fat liar now. So I'm going to time this right that I'm willing to let go of this myth when he's not wanting the myth anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So what if you come into a room and someone goes along with your belief, but as soon as they see you're doubting the belief and you don't trust it anymore, and they say, is this really real? And you go, nah, I don't think it's real either. What if everybody did that? Wouldn't that be shocking?
Yeah.
But I think under right circumstances, people are open to feeling it and checking things out on a truer level. But, people can come around to consider something, consider something more, because we have to account for suffering. The psychological suffering that everybody endures in life, we have to account for it somehow.
Yeah.